Welcome to another Inside Music Row. Today we'll see how country feels for Randy Houser as we celebrate that chart-topping hit. We'll also catch up with Colt Ford at a showcase here in Nashville. Finally, we'll sit down with legendary songwriter and artist Bill Anderson to talk about his storied career. All this and more coming up Inside Music Row. Hey there, I'm Bailey, and I'm so glad you joined us for another Inside Music Row. We've got a great show today, so let's get started with the Pistol Annies. The hot trio is set to Annie up May 7th when they release their second album together. Miranda Lambert, Ashley Monroe, and Angelina Presley released their debut album in August 2011 to rave reviews. Their first new single, Hush Hush, is already out on the radio, but you can keep up with them online at pistolannies.com. Lots of huge artists are taking their tours overseas, like Carrie Underwood in the UK and Ireland, and Rascal Flatts in Australia. With so many country fans over there, it's no surprise that many artists are expanding their tours to visit more regularly. Now, bluegrass sibling duo The Roys are heading to Denmark, Germany, and the UK next month. It sounds like music truly is a universal language. The third annual Johnny Cash Music Festival is shaping up for 2013. It looks like Vince Gill, Larry Gatlin, Jimmy Fortune, and many more are planning to perform August 17th in Jonesboro, Arkansas. As in years past, proceeds will help fund the restoration of Johnny's boyhood home in Dyess, Arkansas, as well as support a scholarship fund in his name. The home and museum is expected to open in the spring of 2014. There is a new corn whiskey on sale with Tennessee ties. A generation after notorious moonshiner Jack Mim McClure passed away, his country singer-songwriter grandson, Tommy Townsend, is now producing the whiskey with his grandfather's special recipe. Tommy is the lead singer of Waymore's Outlaws, the backing band of the late Hall of Famer Waylon Jennings, and he received his family's blessing to bring Mims to market. Now it's time to go inside the song. B.J. Thomas has a new album out now called The Living Room Sessions, and it includes one of his all-time most popular songs. We had a chance to ask him about how he ended up recording Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
You know, when I first got signed with Scepter Records, with I'm So Lonesome, of course, Burt Bacharach and Hal David produced and wrote most of the material for their mainstay, who was Dionne Warwick. And I had a couple of gold records come into the office one day for The Eyes of a New York Woman and Hooked on a Feeling, and Dionne was there, and so was Burt and Hal, and she took the records into their office and said, hey, you know, this guy, you know, you might think about this guy. And we've been after him, to Steve Tyrell, Paul Cantor, and Florence Greenberg, all the people with the company, we've been after them to do something for me, write something for me. And so, of course, Raindrops was not a Dionne song, so I was kind of in the running. And I was lucky enough to get it. Then I flew to California to do the song in the movie for the bicycle scene, and I had laryngitis. My throat was killing me. I went to the doctor. We were doing the recording on a Sunday, and I did get to see a doctor on a Saturday. And I said, man, you know, he said, this is the worst throat I've ever seen. He said, I don't want you to even speak for 2 weeks. And I said, oh, you know, I'm doing a session tomorrow with Burt Bacharach and Hal Davis, so you got to help me. So he did help me. If you ever see the film again, when you see it, you can tell I'm not right. But we did re-record the song. It worked well enough for the movie. In fact, they thought I was trying to be like Paul Newman was singing. So somehow it worked for these 20th Century Fox people. But we re-recorded the song about 6 weeks later in New York, and Burt had written the fade out. And anyway, just an iconic song for me, especially. And one of those across-the-board successes where the writer and the singer, of course, it had that great movie, one of the best Western movies of all time, with it, and Paul Newman and Robert Redford, and I mean, what else could it have had? And just very proud of it.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. The crying's not for me.
April is quickly coming to an end, which means summer is right around the corner. And you know what that means for the summer touring season. Let's take a quick peek at who's going where and when. Time for our first quick little break, but before we go, we have a few copies of Declaration of Independence up for grabs from our buddy Colt Ford. Colt will be up soon, but you can head on over to InsideMusicRow.com right now to get signed up. Just enter your information or update your profile and you'll be good to go. Now for that break, but don't go away. We've got Randy Hauser up next. Be right back.